Hey everybody, so today I just wanted to talk about this big decision that I made. I don't know if it's life-changing, hopefully it will be, but I just made a really big decision. Well, I really kind of did it. I mean, there might be somebody out there who's thinking about doing something similar to this and wants to know probably the thought process, what exactly you have to do, some things to think about, anything like that. So what I'm talking about is I changed my major. Yeah, so I changed my major. So if you go to FAMU and you saw the title, you're gonna know that SBI is, School of Business and Industry, one of the best business schools in the country. So people are probably like, what the heck? Why would you leave? But I had a few reasons. So basically, I was in the business administration program, but I was still pre-business. So like right now I'm in my second semester of my sophomore year, so I'm still pre-business technically. Well, I was pre-business technically, but I had every intention to go into business administration because I wanted to be an entrepreneur and combine it with my art and do something. I don't know. I still not too sure exactly what career path I'm gonna go on, as far as, am I gonna be a designer, am I gonna just stick to YouTube, am I gonna be a stylist, am I gonna be an administrator of some sort. I'm not too sure yet, but hopefully this change will help me see where I'm going and build a better portfolio. So yeah, I was in the business administration program, well, a hopeful, and possibly if I got the grades, I was hoping to continue on to do my 5-year MBA, which at FAMU they have the five-year MBA program where you can just go straight through. You don't have to like stop and start again. You can just go through to the 5th year and get your MBA, which is a master's degree in business administration. So that was the plan, but before I came to college, I did attend a art school, Dash Design and Architecture Senior High School in Miami. Shout out to Dash. Okay. Ugh, it was an experience. If you guys want me to talk about my art school experience, I will definitely do that too, because like I said, it was an experience. But yeah, so art has been a part of my life since I was very young. I've been drawing from when I could hold a pencil, making stuff for my friends, just drawing pictures for whatever. I made a book. So it was only natural for me to pursue art. So I went to that high school, and I was in the fashion design program. I wasn't like the top person, just because I feel like my experience made me want to rebel, sort of, but obviously that's another story for another time. But the talent was there. Like, I'm not the type of person who likes to toot my own horn, but let me stop lying, I love to toot my own horn, but I'm a talented artist. I could draw, I could paint, I could do all of that. But at the time I was feeling really like anti the system, like I didn't want to do shit. So I was telling myself that when I leave high school, I'm not going to do art, which is why I went into the business school, so I could just combine what I already learned from Dash and put the business together, and then bam, I have my career set up, everything's gonna be a-okay. But I quickly found out as of now that I don't want to do business. And this realization kind of came from a few different things. One, just self-reflection. 2, I wasn't making the grades because that junk is hard. 3, I could just feel that I just did not want to put in that extra work because this is not what I wanted. If it's something that you really, really, really want, no matter how hard, no matter, how annoying it is, you're going to put the work in, and it's going to drive you to do whatever it is you got to do to, make that happen. And I just felt like that wasn't happening for me. And, I tried it long enough, 3 semesters. I think that's a fair amount of time for me to say, like, okay, I really know I don't like this, and I'm not just going off of a limb, and on top of that as well, I don't want to speak badly on anything or anyone, because SBI is a great school overall, but there were things that I felt like they weren't very helpful about, and as far as being organized and having everything in order for their students to be as successful as they could possibly be, and just a lot of different other life choices that I made that didn't put me in a position to succeed as well as I think I probably could have. Which one of them was trying to work in the beginning of the semester, and the way my schedule was, I was working literally every day that I wasn't in class, so I really had no time to do anything. And then me not having a car also made it very difficult, because I mean, when you don't have a car, if you're taking the bus or waiting for people to pick you up and stuff, there's that in between time that, you know, messes everything up. Because I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the in-between time is gonna mess everything up, because you're wasting time trying to wait for the bus or trying to get there or wait for whoever your ride is, when you could be studying, eating, exercising, whatever it may be. So those were a combination of things that led me to this decision. So I just wanted to talk about a little bit of my experience at SBI, just in case there's anybody who wants to go into SBI or wants to rule it out and wants to know what SBI is like. So one of the main things that you're gonna notice if you visited FAM's campus is people walking around in suits. And when I say people, I mean students. Obviously there's teachers and professors wearing suits, but you'll notice that there's going to be a lot of students wearing suits. And that is because on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have forum. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know how to explain it, but technically it's just you know, a gathering, a meeting, and it's supposed to mimic like corporate forums where, you know, they gather you and tell you about whatever is new in the company, whatever changes, whatever the heck it is, or have guests or whatever. For us, obviously, we're not a real company per se, so we would have, you know, different corporate guests from outside companies, sometimes alumni that work for these companies to come back and recruit and talk about their experience, and sometimes it would just be informational things about, you know, I'm lying, not different things going around campus, but like I remember we had a forum about I forgot what it was called, but it was a forum about school stuff. And yeah, so that's basically that. And you have to dress up. There's a dress code. For girls, you have to wear a two-piece suit, the jacket, the pants, or the skirt. You're technically supposed to wear pantyhose with the pants and the skirt, but I mean, if you're wearing pants, nobody's really gonna see. But I don't know, sometimes they're lenient with checking and sometimes they're not. Like, some people got kicked out for not wearing stockings, but they have pants on. I'm just like, okay, who's gonna see that? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when it's time for forum, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I do not want to go to forum, because when it's hot outside, you have to be wearing this suit, you have to wear your heels, and it's just boring because you're sitting in there just listening to people talk, and if you're hungry, you got class right after or right before, whatever. But basically it's just supposed to mimic, you know, a corporate setting. And I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes you'll get a corporate guest that's really interesting and it's like worthwhile to sit there and listen to, and sometimes you're just gonna be like, yeah. So that's one of the mandatory things you have to do. After your first semester as like a freshman, you're going to have to join a PLD company, which is a professional leadership development. Basically, the PLD company is like a mock company that is put on by other students, and you join that and you get positions, you do jobs, and you basically get a grade from that from the president and CEO of that particular company, which also tend to be students. For example, I was in WSBI one year, which was the SBI's TV network, where we would interview the corporate guests that would come for forum. Excuse me, I don't know what is up with me today. Yeah, so be quiet, these dogs are so annoying. Yeah, it was the TV station, and I was the vice president of human resources, even though we didn't really do anything human resource like, but you know, I just had the position. So, you know, you're gonna be joining something like that, and gain a position, and you know, you go from there. So you have to attend the meetings, you have to do whatever it is that is required of that company to get your grade. And I mean, sometimes you could know somebody and they might give you the grade, but basically that's what that is. And then once you get to your sophomore year, they're gonna have you in a team. Unfortunately, this year I didn't get to be on a team, but that just goes into the reasons why I'm leaving. A part of it being their responsibility. Yeah, you have to join a team, and the team is where they'll assign you to receptions and meetings with the said corporate guests. That come to visit. So it's a really good opportunity to, you know, get your feet wet, shake hands with people who are actually in the business. And a lot of people actually get hired off of these events, or you know, get recommended for internships. Like I said, that didn't happen for me because I didn't get to join a team. But whatever. So yeah, now that I can think of, those are the mandatory activities that will happen. There's career fairs, there's all of that good stuff. It can be really fun if this is what you really want, but they do make you do a lot of work as far as, you know, going out to things, just having a whole bunch of assignments, which sometimes they're gonna seem pointless as I don't know what, but in retrospect, I mean, they help in certain ways. They do help you develop your resume. I feel like my resume has developed immensely as far as the way I've put it together, because on my own I kind of already had a lot of things to put on my resume. But if you don't, they will show you the best way to organize it to, you know, be effective in, you know, searching for jobs and or internships. So we can go into my issues with SBI. Even though they're mad helpful and super encouraging in a lot of aspects, they are very unorganized. But FAMU as a whole is unorganized, and I don't know if it's just because, you know, black people just be unorganized. I love my black people, but I mean, we gotta speak the truth here, okay? We gotta be real. They be unorganized. And this year I had a really big issue because the class that you're supposed to register for that will put you into a team so you can go to these receptions, I was not allowed to sign up for it because I had already a conflicting class time. Now, usually I wouldn't, you know, attack that problem right head on, but you know, I matured and I tried to attack the problem head on. First day I found out I couldn't register for it because they will penalize you if you don't register for it. It's like a part of your grade. I went and talked to my teacher about it, tried to get it fixed. When I tell you all, I was talking to my PLD professor literally every day about this, and he doesn't even remember. So that was really irritating. But he told me the process I was supposed to go through. I was supposed to get a form and do an appeal so I could be registered for the class. So I went and got the form, wrote my letter, did the appeal, all that. I turned it in to who I thought I was supposed to turn it into. Mind you, I asked my PLD instructor, is this the person I'm supposed to turn it into? And he said yes. Okay. So I went and turned it in, and the person I was supposed to turn it into, she wasn't there, but I didn't have time to wait because I had a class right after that. So I just handed it to the person in the office to have them give it to her whenever she returned. But the appeal process, you would have to meet up in front of a board and they hear your reasoning as to why you didn't register and blah 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 blah. So I was looking for emails to see like, okay, your appeal has been read, your appeal has whatever, but never got that. So I ended up going back to the office that I had turned the page into and tried to see, okay, like what's going on with it, has it been seen, XYZ. And the lady that I was supposed to turn it into, she was there. And of course, she has no idea what I'm talking about because she says that she never got the paper, but she's not the person I'm supposed to give it to. I have to give it to these other people. So I asked her, where can I go get the paper from so I can make sure it gets to the right person? And she's not allowing me to do so for whatever reason. I think she said students not allowed in the area that it was in. So I'm at a loss. And I just keep talking to my PLD instructor. He keeps telling me to wait. He keeps telling me to just go to the meetings. But at the time, I was working And like I said from before, the days I was working was literally every day that I wasn't in class. So I really did have no time to do that. But you know, they're always going to find a way to put it on you and not see where their shortcomings are. But of course, I just kept my emails, and I ended up getting the issue resolved after like all the hoopla I went through. But it was very irritating, and it almost cost me my grade in a class that's 1 credit and very easy. The PLD class is 1 credit, but it's something that you need to move forward, and it was just very irritating. Also, even if you are not interested in accounting, in the first few years you're going to have to take accounting courses. First is managerial, then first is financial accounting, then managerial. I'm not a math-minded person at all. Like, at all. Sometimes I be in a test and I put 2 plus 2 in the calculator just to make sure it's 4, just to make sure I'm not tripping. Okay, like, I'll do that. I'll be counting my fingers, trying to like do it quietly. I'll be like, okay, so nobody will see me and then I won't be embarrassed. Like, I'm just not a math person. Like, I'm not math minded anyway. I would have to work extra hard at it. And managerial and financial accounting was horrible for me. It was super hard. I just could not do it. And when some things like math just stump me, I'm so afraid of it that I just don't even want to like try. So I will say a part of me not doing so well in there was my fault. But that was that particular class. But I just really got frustrated with the establishment in that sense, because every time I tried to talk to somebody, especially when I finally got it resolved, as far as the fixing of my grade, they, like, the professor or the man that I spoke to wanted to act like it was my fault and that I was just trying to blame it on them, which was not true, because they were supposed to have that fixed, and I wouldn't have had this issue if it had been dealt with due diligence from the jump. So that was my other issue. Now moving on to my final decision to move back to arts. So really, I just wanted to go back to art because I wanted to develop my portfolio a lot more. Like I said, in high school, you know, I had the talent. I know I can draw, I know I can paint, I know I can design, but I don't think I put as much effort into it just because of the fact of I didn't really enjoy my experience that much. I mean, I did to a certain extent, but compared to the other kids, I don't feel like I enjoyed it as much as I could have for a plethora of reasons. But yeah, I just feel like I don't have a strong portfolio as strong as I want it to be. So I want to take this opportunity to go back to that, find myself, and, you know, really work on a portfolio that I myself can be really proud of and I can market, and I just want to make a stronger craft, you know. So that is my main decision maker in going back to art. But also, when I went to speak to the main art advisor, he was really helpful, and he really took a look at what the mistakes I made were before and what I need to do this year to do a lot better. You know, I was doing 6 classes, working, what else? Not having a car, trying to do everything, and in the beginning of the year I was trying to get an apartment, but that fell through. So a lot was just going on, and I really appreciated that the fact that he really looked into, like, he was looking at my grades and my stats, and yeah, these are just papers with numbers on it, but he could see through that and see that, okay, you have a problem, so we need to back up, look at what it is that we need to take out so you can do 10 times better. So this year I'm going to be taking 2 less classes than I was before, but I think it's going to help me a lot, and especially because it's going to be doing something that I inherently love, you know. So I think with that combination, I just can't lose. I might have to pick up classes in the summer, but at this point I honestly don't mind. I'm 10 times more motivated because I could just really see that if I really stick to my dreams, people are going to realize, you know, where my talent lies. They're gonna realize my heart. They're gonna realize my work ethic, and it's gonna come. My dreams are gonna come to fruition, you know. So I'm just really excited about this semester. Hopefully everything goes as planned. Yeah, tomorrow's my first class in the art major, so I'm super excited. You know, I don't have any doubt about my skill, but I'm just really excited to see things change for myself and just move on, you know, move on from the hurt of the bad grades, you know, move on from the hurt. But you know, if you are considering changing your major from A to B, and if you're considering going into SBI, I just really encourage you to really sit and think, okay, is this what I really want to do? Can I see myself doing this 365 days a year? Can I do this for the next 4 years? You know, every class is going to be hard. It's going to have hard things, but I really think it boils down to if you're willing to sit there and do that to get to the point you really want to. And I really analyzed myself and analyzed what I want, and I really do believe I'm willing to take these hopefully next 2 years to really grind and, you know, perfect my craft and let everybody see that I'm here to shine, baby, you know. Here, let's go over a checklist of things you need to do if you want to change your major. First, go speak to your current major and see what it is you have to do with your current stats, as far as your current grades, your current GPA, the current courses you're taking. Because if you're in my like your first semester of sophomore year, you're still going to be taking like those preliminary courses. So see what preliminary courses you don't have to take, see which ones you do still need to take, and you're going to have to go get a paper signed. And the paper signing was fairly easy. Like, I was impressed. Like, I didn't have to go to 10 different people to get it done, which is another issue. Like, in SBI and FAMU in general, you have to go through like 10 different people to get shit done, and it's really annoying. But yeah, so just make sure that you know what courses you need to take, what courses you've already taken, so you don't repeat, and then go over to the major that you want to change to and see, okay, are there going to be any penalties for Gutter wants to say hi, y'all. Yeah, so make sure that when you're changing your major, you're not going to be penalized as far as having to take extra long to graduate. You're not going to go into excess credit hours. You're not going to have to repeat courses, anything like that. Some majors have GPA requirements. Mine did. I needed a 2.0 GPA at least. I thought I would have to show my portfolio, but I didn't. But even if I did, I think I would have got it. Just really make sure, see what the other major is offering as far as courses, see what they're offering as far as the different schools, and really make sure it's a decision you want to go through. Because I mean, not to say that college is the end all and be all, but you're really, you know, juggling life decisions. It's a life decision, and you know, you want to make sure you're informed all the way, and you know, you're not wasting your money or your parents' money or whatever money it is that you're using. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. You know, I just really wanted to reflect and share, and I hope you guys liked listening. And if you have any questions, any advice that you can give me, or any advice you think I can give you, leave it down below. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Okay, see you guys later.